Hi, welcome to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm Dee, and I'm here with my girl Diane. That's one of my friends, and actually we got a new friend, and that's Marco Polo. So we're doing things a little different today. We decided to share. Well, my passion is all about education and helping people have the best integrity of life through learning about holistic living, going back to basics. And well, there's all ways of going back to basics and just having happiness. And you have to really be happy with yourself in order to be happy with your body and your mind and your spirit and all that kind of good stuff. So there's another happiness when you bring your animals into your life. And well, Diane she's been on the show on several occasions, and she says her passion. Hey, Diane, what is
Hi,
your
Dee.
passion?
Oh, my passion is animals.
All right, so she brought her Marco Polo.
This is
Hi, Marco
Hi,
Polo.
Marco. This is
So,
Marco Polo.
right,
We're
and
gonna
you,
make him a little comfortable now. We're gonna take
okay.
off his
Well,
glasses and his
yeah,
hat.
he's chilling right now.
Okay.
I'm like, oh
We'll take.
my gosh.
Okay, we're gonna take your glasses off. Okay.
Oh, but he seemed like he was okay
Oh,
with
he
it. You
likes
kind
it.
of do this all the time with him, huh?
He loves to dress up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a pet photographer, so I do a lot of pictures with him. And
Right,
he runs when
right.
he sees the camera. He runs to the chair.
Really? He
So I've
knows.
been doing it since I got him. So he loves it.
Okay, well, he's looking at the cameras now. He's
What
like,
you
okay,
doing,
he's
bud?
ready to jump on those cameras. So basically, since your passion is about the animals and you have a charity that you're involved
Yes,
with.
my passion is animals, and Marco and I are sponsors for a charity called Animal Aid USA, and Karen Talbot and Prince Lorenzo are the founders,
Okay.
and there's a whole bunch of volunteers that are also involved, and what they do every month is they travel 1,600 miles from New Jersey to Georgia, and they rescue 200 dogs a month
Wow.
that are ready to be killed in a gas chamber.
Wow.
And when I saw that, you know, I was asked to go photograph two dogs that were getting married in
Getting
New
married.
Jersey. They had two dogs getting married, and I couldn't make it. So I watched the video that night, and I heard Lorenzo speak about, you know, the dogs getting killed in the gas chambers,
Right,
and
right.
it really disturbed me.
Right.
And I knew there was something I had to do.
Right.
So I took charge, and I said, I want to help.
Right.
So me and Marco started, joined the charity. We're partners. And if you go on Animal Aid USA, you'll find us under partners. And we go out and we raise money.
Wow.
So in my town, I'll even go to Stop and Shop. I'll sit outside, you know, and I'll collect money. And people watch me. I put it up on Facebook. And a friend of mine saw it, which we met through that. And he saw what I was doing. And he said, I want to help.
Okay.
So my friend Frank Leone and his wife Stephanie and their son Harrison, they came through and they donated. They were very generous and they donated a lot of money. And we raised over $10,000 in my community.
Wow.
So I
How long
wanted,
did that take?
oh, not too long.
Really?
Not
Wow,
too
you're
long.
good. That's why you're my friend.
Whatever we could do. I'm looking
know,
to do
you're
another.
amazing.
I would like to do a charity event, you know,
Okay.
this spring
Yeah.
to try to raise money.
Well, you know what? Anything I can do, well, hopefully this will
Thank
help
you.
for sure, you know, because
Thank
this
you.
should definitely help. And I know you've been wanting to bring him on. So this was an opportunity to do that because animals do make you feel better. You know, it's like that's a relationship.
Right.
And we do bring relationships into this whole genre. And we love, you know, to have good relationships. So this is your best friend right now.
Right. He's
Yeah.
my best friend.
And
Well, dogs do help stress, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
help lower blood pressure, and they're great for anyone that's sick.
Yeah.
You have the dogs that go to the hospitals
Right,
and help the
right.
elderly
Yeah.
or people that are sick.
because I know
And-
that they do take the animals to the senior centers and
Right.
to the not rehabs, but the senior places where they hang out. You know, senior. What are they? I forgot.
The
now.
senior centers and
No,
the,
no,
and the
where
hospitals.
they
they
live,
go to
you
the
know, where they
hospitals
live, you know.
and
but it's not rehabs, but they,
There's-
the senior
Right.
places where they're living. I don't remember at
Well, they're
this point.
service dogs.
Yeah, yeah,
And they really do help.
yeah.
They go to, the
They
children.
calm you
and-
down and make you happy.
Look
and
at him.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's kind of chilled.
No, he's
He's,
chilling
he's
out
really
tonight.
chilled.
He's a
So
good
what
boy.
kind of dog is he?
He's a Chihuahua.
Okay.
I also have another one at home.
Oh,
I have
really?
a Pomeranian.
Oh, why don't you bring him
I was
both?
going to bring them both, but I thought I'd bring Marco for the charity. We talk about him.
So you
Carrying
said-
two is like having two children. Bring
Yeah, yeah. Well, I had animals when I was growing up, and my husband also has he had an animal, and my goodness, he was 14 when he passed away, and we tried to get him back, and it was like he was such a sweetheart. He was just he was actually half pit bull, but if you treat a dog nicely and you raise them nicely, they don't pit bull will be a nice dog. It's not like they're going to come and be vicious. But if you train, any dog would be
Right.
vicious if you train them that way.
Well, there's a
So,
lot of issues about pit
Yeah,
bulls, but I know many people have that pit bulls and they're sweethearts.
Yeah, that dog never barked at me because he knew I belonged. So he just was part of the family and he didn't have any issues. But I think he was lab and pit bull, so he just was kind of calm and cool and collected. And he didn't hurt anybody. But I love animals, and I actually wanted to be a veterinarian
Oh, really?
when I was younger, a lot younger. And my stepfather's a veterinarian, and so it's kind of cool, and to see how animals just make you feel comfortable, and actually, do you kind of guide when you're going out dating or what have you that they have to be, like your dog or what have you?
Well, they are part of my life.
Yeah. So
yes.
yeah, because I know at one point I had a thing. I couldn't get a man, right? So it was like dogs and children. They loved me.
Right.
Animals and children. They loved me, and I was like, well, why can't I get a man? That could like me too. But they always, like lick me up and what have you. I had a dachshund, and I loved that dog. He was so cute. And he reminds me of Marco Polo a little
He's a
bit.
sweetheart.
Yeah.
Marco wasn't a rescue.
He wasn't a rescue?
No, but I got him before I got involved. What happened is I worked, I had dogs growing up all my life.
Okay.
And then when I was working a lot, and I really didn't want to take a dog in because having a dog is having like a child.
Right.
You really have to be there for the dog. You have to spend time with the
Right.
dog. And finally, when I had the time to get a dog, I wanted to get the perfect dog.
Really?
And so I went to where the people show their dogs at the West, the show dogs, and I picked out a mini pincher that had the perfect body, the perfect face, and I said, I'm going to have the perfect dog. So
How old were you then?
This was about 8, 9 years ago.
Okay.
And I was waiting for a litter, and every year I would call her up and say, do you have a dog for me? And she said, not yet. So I went to a dog show, and I saw her there, and I started crying, and she said, I have this dog. If you want him, I show him, and you have to make up your mind by tomorrow and take him home. I walked him around. He went with children. He was fine. I said, I'll take him. I brought him home. The first day, he bit my girlfriend in the
What?
hand.
Oh, my.
He bit me every night. He took a big chunk of my skin off every night.
Oh, my goodness.
His name was Luciano. I called him Luciano. I would walk him outside. He would be screaming. People didn't understand what was going on. When I called his name, he didn't hear me. So I think there was something wrong with him. But I would call her and I said, something is wrong with the dog. And she kept on saying, the dog is fine. There's nothing wrong with the dog. I would take him to the vet. The vet would call me and say, the girls are afraid of the dog. They would put the gloves on.
Oh,
And
really?
they were afraid to touch the dog because nobody would go near the dog. Nobody came to my house for 6 months.
What?
Nobody was.
You had
and
the dog
was
that
this
long?
little tiny. Well, I kept calling them and I said, something's wrong with the dog. Of course, I fell in love with the dog and I wanted to try to work with the dog.
Right, right.
So I got a trainer and she said, there's something not right with this dog. And I called them up and I said, I can't keep the dog as much as I wanted to. And they said, if we take the dog back, we're going to put it to sleep.
What?
I said, well, I'm not going to bring back the dog. I was going to call Caesar, Milan, and see if I could help. But I was trying to see if I could work with the dog. Finally, they said, stick the dog in the car. You know, if it gives you a problem. If you have a party, put him in the car. Now, these are people that show
What?
dogs, and all they care about, I mean, not everybody, but this particular one, they care about the ribbons. And when I went back to the house, I finally took the dog back, went back to the house. The dog trainer came with me because I was very upset because I didn't want to do it. And the dog ran with the pack of dogs. So this dog was not socialized. It was used to being in a pack of the dogs, and downstairs they had all cages where the dogs lived.
Oh.
So the dogs weren't a family dog. They lived in cages.
Right.
They
Oh my
wanted
gosh.
to win ribbons, and I'm so against that right now. And I'm not saying anybody watching who has show dogs, I'm not saying that you all, you know, everybody
Yeah,
that
no,
has
not
a,
everybody's
not
like
everybody
that.
that
Yeah,
has a
no.
show dog treats their dog like this. But I had a very bad experience. And, you know, when I think back at it, I would, you know, never get another show dog. I mean, they're
Well,
mixed breed, and
were
they
they
tried to breed
really-
them together, and
Yeah.
they do something sometimes to the brain or
But
something.
but if they were breeding them, right? They were breeding
They
them
mixed
like
breed them, brother, sister, mother,
Oh,
to
yeah,
get the
yeah,
right
yeah,
looking
right,
dog.
right.
But I've heard stories that what they do to the dogs to win ribbons. So after I returned the dog, I cried. I cried for 6 months, saying I'm never going to love another dog.
How old was the dog?
The dog was about 2 years old.
And he had been living like that for all those years.
I don't know what his background. When they gave me the dog, they said, you know, he was with us and he's fine. But he wasn't fine. There was something not right.
Well, yeah, I actually
He wasn't
had-
socialized.
Yeah.
He wasn't socialized at all. He needed to be with the pack of dogs, and I knew that's what was best for him. That's what he
Wow.
needed. So as soon as he saw the pack of the dogs, he ran to them and he was fine.
Right.
So after that, as I say, I cried and I cried, and I didn't want to get another dog because I said, how am I going to love another dog?
Right.
But you do love another dog.
Yeah.
And I was on the computer looking at dogs, and I saw Marco in a video, and he was so quiet. And I said, oh, look at this dog. He's so cute. And I called the breeder, and I asked about him. And she said, you know, he's very special. He kisses and loves. I told her my story. And she said, you know, I wasn't going to give him to anybody, but I want you to have him.
Oh, wow.
And that's how I got Marco, and he's the best thing that came into
What
my
kind
life.
of video did you see him in?
I watched it, you know, when you're looking on site for breeders and
Oh,
dogs.
I see.
But
Okay.
right now, I'm very into rescue. Everybody should rescue a dog.
Right. Now, see, the breeders, generally, if they breed them like one-on-one or what have you, but there's a lot of breeders that do like puppy mills and stuff
That's
like
what.
that.
Well, this is a problem. This dog is not a puppy mill. Came from a
Right,
very, very
right,
good family.
right.
And you know, I spoke to them, and I know they're home. And in fact, I called her last week because I wanted to tell her about how we're doing, because we always check on each other. And her husband answered her, and she passed away, which I didn't know.
Okay.
And I know that she knew, you know, the love that I gave Marco.
Yeah.
And we would
How
talk
old
from
is
time.
Marco?
Marco's 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
But the problem with going back to Animal Aid, they just came out with a documentary called you know what? I just heard about it tonight. So it's called Southern. Oh, I have to look that up. And if you go on Animal Aid USA, you'll see it, and
Right.
you could watch the movie. But it's an awareness of the puppy mills,
Right.
of a Southern Fix.
Oh,
It just came.
Fix.
It just came. to
Okay,
me, a
cool.
Southern Fix.
So these puppy mills are like they're just
This is a major
breeding?
problem.
Right.
They breed them within breeders. They slaughter them.
Yeah.
Some of them get killed. And the charity that I'm with, we're trying to get away with all this. We're
Right.
trying to make people aware of what's going on
Right.
in these puppy mills and the dogs being slaughtered and the gas chambers.
Right,
If we could
right.
get rid of the gas chambers, you know, across the country, this is a major, major problem. And it breaks my heart. And that's why we're both trying to help this charity.
Make it awareness. you know, And
Awareness.
it's all about awareness
Right.
because it's that's why you have to get back to basics and make people aware of what's going on out here, you know,
Right.
with the food, with socialization, with communication, with relationships, with everything,
Right.
with rearing dogs and animals and just living, you know, living the best life you can. And he
Oh,
seems like he's having a good
I
time,
love
you
having
know.
him. He
He's
really
being,
he calms me down. He's great. He's just so calming. He's looking to see the cameras.
well, you know what? I think we're going to take a little quick break, and
Okay.
then we're going to come back with Marco
Marco.
Polo and Miss Diane,
All
okay?
right.
We'll be right back.
What are you looking for? You don't even know that. Are you on the ball list? So you can't even answer. I'm asking you about it. You gotta be highly skilled. You gotta be highly skilled. You understand that?
Are you sick?
Are you well versed there? Are you very smart man? Hit me with some funny shit.
My shit's twisted.
Tell me something. Tell me
What do
something.
you have right there?
That's awesome.
Well-
That's a big.
That's nice.
You know damn well. You know damn
That's
well.
awesome. That's awesome. That's
Sir, are you interested in
Twisted
or not?
talent.
I see you got twisted.
That's twisted. That's talent. That's talent.
You see what I'm saying? You understand me? And if you can't whip out answers like that, that man is liable to during a commercial break punch your fucking mouth loose. You understand me? Time is up, sir. You understand me? You're on. You're the man. All right, give me your name now. I'm sorry.
My name is Willie.
Willie, where you working at?
We are twisted. We are awesome. Love awesome. Love awesome. Love awesome.
Can you repeat that question again?
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm Dee, and I'm here with my friends Marco Polo and Diane, and we're talking a little bit about the AIDS and
The Animal Aid charity, Animal Aid USA.
Yes, and about how we do need to support this type of charity
Right.
and this type of movement, because right now people are out there fighting dogs and killing them just because, oh, well, we don't want them anymore. You know,
Right.
they got tired of them because, and they might be very sweet and very passionate with these kids, but you know, because they're not performing like they want them to perform, or they're not able to produce the money, because it's all about the money. You know,
Right.
a lot of people just don't realize that they really need to just embrace these animals to have fun and
Right.
and get that love, because unconditional love.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
And this charity, Animal Aid USA, is a very small charity.
yeah.
And there's a lot of volunteers that come out.
Right.
And the money that is sent to them goes directly to transport, vet doctors, the food, And, you know, sometimes with the bigger charities, they have to pay people, but the money that gets donated goes right to the charity.
Right, right.
And if anybody, you know, wants to help, they could go to Animal Aid USA. They have a website, or they're also on Facebook.
Right. And actually it says here, and I was reading it, it's very interesting. It says, well, Animal Aid, through education, awareness, and resources, Animal Aid USA is empowering people to make change in their world for sheltered animals. And they all need volunteers, and we need your support. They're saying we need support, and we do need to support, you know, good causes. 100%, they're all made from donations and is directly to help save lives. So it's like over 2,000 animals saved over
Of 200 a month. So there's
Wow.
200 a month they save. In
Right.
fact, before I came here, I spoke to Karen on the phone, and I told her that we're, you know, doing the show on Animal Aid USA, and she told me about the documentary tonight, so that's why I got a little
Right,
lost
right.
in that, because she told me about it tonight, you know, The Southern Fix. And it's a movie that, you know, they just came out with that's bringing awareness.
Right,
And
right.
people could, you know, look on Facebook, and there's a trailer, I think they have one right now,
okay.
and they could watch the trailer.
It's so sad.
And they're there right now. They're in
Really?
Georgia right now. I
Yeah,
just got
yeah.
off the phone with her, and they're rescuing the dogs.
Do they go anywhere besides Georgia?
No,
or
it's usually
just-
from New Jersey to Georgia, because there's so many dogs in the South that are being killed in the gas chamber, and if they could bring home 200 dogs and save, you know, 200 dogs a month, that's, you know, they want to save thousands. We want to get to the point where we could save every dog on the planet.
Well, once they have more volunteers and
Right.
what have you, then that would happen.
Right, but it also helps
Yeah.
donating and
Right,
helping, you know,
yeah,
for the
yeah.
funds to go
Right.
and transport. They drive 1,600 miles, so between the
Really?
gas, and they have a big truck that they take. and
Really?
It's amazing. You know, they've been on a couple talk shows, and, you know, they just need your help.
Right.
But I want to show you this picture. I got the opportunity to go see the dogs when they got off, and I don't know if the camera could see this, but it's me, and the dog is just hugging
That's you?
me. This is me,
Oh,
yeah,
Oh, okay.
with the curly hair.
Okay.
And you can see the dog is just embracing me with
yeah,
love.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll never forget this day.
Well, do you have that picture on your Facebook?
This picture's on my Facebook.
Okay. So people,
This picture is a
people
picture
go
they'll
and
never
look
forget at this
on
picture.
Diane
Yes.
Hannah's Facebook to see that beautiful picture.
Right. And he's just looking into my eyes.
Wow.
And that's what it's all about. It's all
Yeah,
about the love.
Yeah, yeah. They do. They
Yes.
do give you love. That's why I guess I wanted to be a veterinarian for so long,
Right.
you know, because when I had my little puppy, my parents got divorced, and so I had to leave the dog with my dad, and but he was my dog, so. But I didn't get a chance to see him that often, but he was still my dog. So apparently he got hit by a car. He ran across the street and got hit by a car. And my father, nobody wanted to tell me, you know, because they knew I would be like torn up. And so finally my father told me I lost it, you know.
I would lose it.
Yeah, I lost it. I was like, and I wasn't very creative, so it was a dachshund, right?
Right.
So his name was Dash. As I said, I was not very creative, but that was my dog. That was my puppy, you know. So then after that, we had cats because we couldn't have, in a co-op,
Right.
we couldn't have the dogs, you know. But
You know, having a dog is a big
It
responsibility.
is a big
And unless
responsibility.
you're going to, you know, make the dog your family, don't get a dog.
yeah,
But
yeah,
try to rescue. Please try to rescue the dogs. They need you.
yeah. So when they come out back to New York after they rescue
They find
them,
homes.
They find
They find homes for them.
So how do they do that? How do they?
Well, people know about the charity,
Uh-huh.
and they'll bring them into their house, or other people would foster them until they find families. They're
Oh,
all
okay.
taken care of. They all go to
Okay.
vets. If they're very sick, they take care of them until they get well.
Right, right.
And that's what makes them so wonderful.
Wow.
I mean, I'm happy to be such a part of a wonderful charity.
So 2012. So that's what 4 years they've been doing this.
No, they've been
and-
around, I think, longer than that. You have to go, you know, research on Animal Aid USA
Oh, okay.
of the year that they
Because
started.
it said 2012.
2012,
Yeah, yeah. It says over 2,000
2012.
animals saved since 2012. So I'm like, wow, that's cool.
We got involved about 5 years ago.
Oh.
We got
Oh, really?
4 years ago.
Okay.
13.
Well,
Probably when they just started.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you and Marco, and actually, it says Save a Life and donation, what have you. So you have these all. Well, you have.
Well, they're on.
On-
They have a WW Animal Aid. USA. They're on. You could Google them, or you could go on Facebook.
Right.
And you could find them on Facebook. Or if you want to help in any way, you could go to my Facebook, Diane Hanna, and you could contact me if you want to help in any way.
Right. So now you say Karen
Karen
and
Talbot
Uh-huh.
and Prince Lorenzo Borghese are
Right.
the founders.
Right.
And there's many, many volunteers that are involved.
Right. Now Prince
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo.
He was one of the bachelors.
He was one. He
I
sounded
know that he
familiar.
sounded familiar.
I was like, wait a minute.
He was one of the
It's like,
bachelors.
oh my gosh. Did you
Yes.
ever meet him?
Yes.
You have.
Yes. He's
Very
one-
nice guy?
Very nice guy.
Yeah.
Yes. I met
Wow.
them both.
So they're from New York, or they're living in New York.
He's from New York and he travels, and Karen is from New Jersey. But we did a couple. There were a couple charity events that I got, the pleasure to talk to. I talked to Karen all the time, and I, spoke to Lorenzo, and we see each other at
Right,
charity
right,
events
right.
because they do events in Manhattan and all around to try to raise money.
Well, next time you're going to have them call in.
I'll
or
have them,
Skype
have
in
call
or
them.
something
Yes,
like that.
Karen. I just spoke to her,
Yeah.
and she said, I'm going to probably go to sleep because they traveled,
Right.
1,600 miles, and I told her if you're still awake, try to call in, and
Yeah. What part of Georgia did they go to? Do you know?
You know what? I really don't know. They just
So, is the animal shelter that they go to, or what? I don't understand.
they go to animal shelters, and they get the ones that are ready. There's a gas chamber there, and they're ready to be killed, and they get dogs throughout the puppy mills, and they just get them along the way.
So they
They have a
find that
mission. They know where they're
Georgia
going.
has
Right.
a lot of those.
A lot.
type
But
of-
all over the world, all over the United States, there's a big problem.
Yeah.
But this particular charity that I'm involved with, but they're very involved with wanting to save the animals around the United States and do away with the gas chambers.
Right.
I mean, when I heard about that, I was beside myself.
Do we have gas chambers in
I don't know if we have in New York, but I know they have them in the South.
Wow. So
And the dogs are slaughtered. They're killed. And the puppy mills is something. We could do away with the puppy mills.
yeah,
People
Well,
have to be educated about the puppy mills.
Because I think my mom had gotten a dog when we were younger, and the dog was sick. It was a beagle, and she was so sweet. The beagle was really, really sweet. But it was actually an Airedale, and he was sick. When we got him, and we only could keep him for like a day or two because he was so sick, and probably because it was in a puppy mill.
Probably in the puppy mills.
Yeah,
And
'cause they-
even the pet stores,
Yeah.
I would like to see the pet stores go out too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the dogs too are sick. But, if you get a dog and you love the dog,
Yeah.
But I just think people should rescue. There's so many dogs out there that need homes.
Yeah.
And
No, it's true. And rather than breeding them in harsh and
Right.
in dangerous conditions, there's just go and get. It's like adoption of children.
Children, right.
So it's like so many children out there, and rather than having to have a surrogate or what have you, go and get a child and. Go and get a dog. Doesn't have to be a baby. It doesn't have to be a little puppy or what have you.
Right.
It can be somebody, a
And you'll
dog
love
that's
it.
2 years old, or
Right.
3 years old.
it's just unconditional love. Any dog that just is unconditional love.
Yeah, no, I know.
I mean, I love this dog to death. He's my love of my life.
No,
Right, Marco. And my mom, I used to bring him to I bring him to my mom, and she's dealing with dementia right now, and she just her whole eyes light up when she sees him,
Really?
and I put him on her lap, and she pets him, and there's a big difference in the healing process of having a pet.
I think I need to get one.
One
for
yourself?
My mom.
That was for your mom?
Yeah. Well, bring her around. Maybe
Right.
you can bring Marco
Marco.
around. Yeah.
You'll see the smile on their face. It really helps. It lowers the blood pressure, and it helps the stress, and there's so many different things.
You definitely need to come by, and then
I
we're
will
gonna have
come
to-
by. We'll come by, Marco, right? Boop.
But you know what? We're gonna have to take a quick break, so
Okay.
we'll be right back.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Tom Mealy. one of the founders here at Madhouse TV. You know, people ask me all the time what motivates me and what makes Madhouse TV different than all the other internet broadcasting studios around the world. Well, I tell you, what motivates me are the people we get to meet, the people we get to help, and the lives that we change by allowing their medium here at the studio. And I think that that's what my motivation is. What makes us different? Madhouse TV has been around for the past 5 years. We have a solid foundation. We've seen studios come and go. We've seen studios in basements, garages, shacks, little shanties all over the place. People wanting to do this type of media. This is the media of the future. So what makes us different? Here at Madhouse TV, our team, Tommy Marr, Vicky, Janine, we take this very seriously. This is not a joke. This is a very serious business. And to be serious, you need to spend money. And to need to spend money, you have to have the best equipment possible to make the best video and the best broadcast possible. And here at Madhouse TV, that's exactly what we strive to do. We got a strong foundation. We're going to be around for a long time. You know, they look at me every once in a while when I come up with an idea and they say, oh boy, here we go again. But you know what? It's that, oh boy, here we go again, that keeps us the best. And we will continue to strive forward to do whatever it takes to be the best internet broadcasting studio in America. And I got to be honest with you folks, we're on that path. Over the past several years, we have had some of the top entertainers here in this studio. We've had lunch with people like The Who. We've had people in here like George Thorogood's Destroyers. Tommy Marr has been inspirational in bringing some of the biggest talent in the world right here to the studio. You know, that's what it's all about. Once you're the biggest, once you're the best, they're going to come. So we're offering all of you out there who want to have a shot at media, want to have a shot at being on television, give us a call here at Madhouse TV. We'd love to talk to you. Our prices are unbelievably reasonable. This is not CBS. We never planned to be CBS. So if you want to be on TV, you want to get your message across, you have a non-for-profit that you got to get that message out to people of hope, give us a call at 631-882-6900. We're here to help. We're here to have a good time. And most of all, we're here to become the best and the biggest in this business. Thanks so much.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm here with Marco Polo and Diane, and we're just talking, and we were like, I was thinking about how we treat our animals. A lot of people get animals and thinking that, you know, okay, they can take care of themselves, but we really have to take care of them. We got to give them the right foods. You got to, you know,
Take them
sure
to the
they're
vet,
groomed
their teeth are cleaned.
Right, you know. So otherwise, you're really doing a disjustice, and
Right.
and you're being cruel if you don't take care of them properly, you know. So you have to really take care. Like, okay, I know about my AGEs and processed foods and the sugars and stuff like that. The same thing for the dogs. You know, when you start feeding them poorly,
Right.
then
They
they're going to
end
get
up
the
getting-
diseases just like we get the diseases.
He's
And-
on very good natural food, but
Right.
also a lot of people cook for their dogs. And
Right,
sometimes I
right.
would give him some cooked meals.
Really?
Yeah, some chicken and rice and some peas, or he has his food.
He likes it?
He likes it. Well, the food that I give him is a natural food, so he does like the food.
Yeah. 'Cause
But he does get a little spoiled when I give him. He waits. When I give him like a little chicken, he won't eat his food for days waiting for the chicken, so he gets a little spoiled.
Well, yeah, I
So,
can see
yeah.
that.
He's very spoiled.
Well, that's okay, you know. But see, the thing is, you really gotta concern yourself
Right.
with being healthy and being natural, because you are a fitness trainer.
Yes, I've been a fitness trainer for 30 years.
Right, and so you've done a lot of things with people, helping them,
Right.
you know. So you focus on their foods and what have you?
I focus on their foods and, well, first, being a fitness trainer, I make sure that they're doing things correctly when they're working out. I used to belong to a gym, and I used to look around the room, and I used to see people just throwing the weights and doing things incorrectly, and I had to go up to them and correct them. I couldn't belong to a gym because I just couldn't watch this when they had trainers there not paying attention to people that could get hurt.
Right.
So I did have a business where I did one-on-one. I had a one-on-one facility, and I also liked the one-on-one in the homes.
Oh, okay.
Because people, the other day, my girlfriend said, come to the gym with me. And I said, tell me what you're doing. And I was watching, and I said, oh my gosh, I should have been here a long time ago. Because everything she was doing was incorrect. And people just need that guidance to do it the right way. So I was happy to help her, but I see what people do. And it's just a little thing. It's stretching. People like work out with heavy weights, and they do no cardiovascular or no stretching. Stretching is so important.
Yeah.
And you could even, with stretching and physical therapy exercises, you could hit muscles,
Right.
the smaller muscles that you're not hitting with the bigger weights.
Right.
And I'll do those exercises myself, and I'll feel those muscles that, you don't think that they're there,
Yeah.
but you feel them. And it's very important to stretch.
Right.
Do you work out at all? Do you stretch? You should get into a program with stretching.
I haven't.
Well,
Well,
we're going to have some good people on. We're going to
Yeah.
have people in the health field, and
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I was actually into exercising and dancing and all that kind of stuff, and then I got out of it. And once you get out of it, it's hard to get back into it. So I would love to have a dog, and I could run and take him out. And
I think it's time for you
start
to rescue a
walking
dog.
and what have you. And but I do travel a lot too, so that's the only.
Well, that's when you bring the dog to mom's.
Right now, Mom, I don't know about Mom. It's like a little challenging. It's like that's my growing child. So I'm like, oh, I wish I could get her over
When the
there.
time is
So
right, you'll get the dog.
Yeah.
You know when the time is right.
Yeah. Because right now I'm so.
Because it's hard. Because when I travel, I have my girlfriend Amy comes over and she babysits.
Oh, that's nice.
I won't take the dog anywhere. She has to come over and stay with the dogs.
So she stays at your house?
She sleeps at my house. It's the only way we do it, and she's wonderful, Auntie Amy, and they love her.
Wow.
And
that's kind of cool.
that's the only way I would do it.
So would you pay her also?
I pay her, and she comes
And
and she sleeps
sits.
with them and house sits with them and plays with them, and they love her.
Oh, okay.
They love her.
That's cool.
So when I go away, at least I'm
Yeah.
comfortable knowing that they're with someone. And if I can have her, I won't go away.
Really?
So, there's
Oh, you
there's
take
things
them
that I
with you?
sacrifice,
You take them with you? Travel?
No, not really.
No?
Well, if I go like on short trips, I'll take them. If not, I won't take them.
Because being
On
that
the
you're
plane,
acting and
right.
what have you, so sometimes.
Well, they're home. Because I have the other one. It's nice to have the two because they're together. And since I have the two, Marco used to go everywhere with me. But now that I have the two, I tell Marco, "Do you want to go out?" And he's like puts his head under the pillow
Because you said
because
he
he
didn't
wants to
wanna
stay
come
home.
today.
Well, tonight, look how comfortable he is, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes he doesn't want to go out. He wants to stay home, so he'll hide under the pillow.
Right. Well, right now he feels like.
But it's so funny when I first got him. I know this sounds crazy, but I used to play Bocelli singing "Goodnight to Elmo." It's a song saying "Goodnight to Elmo," and I used to play it for him when I first got him. So every time he used to go to sleep, I used to say, "Marco, Bocelli wants you to go to sleep," and he would actually drop his toy and go into bed.
Really?
So now that's what I tell him. Bocelli wants you, and he goes right under the covers.
Really?
It's amazing. He's very smart. He's a very smart dog. He understands everything. The Pomeranian doesn't understand as much, but Pomeranians are very loving. Like they stare at you and they want that unconditional love. They want you to hold them. But as far as a whole vocabulary and telling him stories, he's amazing.
Really? So he doesn't really look like a typical Chihuahua. Yeah.
Well, he's an applehead. If you could see, he has an applehead, which is the rounder head, and the little ears. Some of the Chihuahuas have the longer nose.
Right.
But he's called the applehead. He's tired. You tired, Boop?
Is he a little chunky?
What do you mean?
Does he have a little weight?
A
'Cause
little-
usually
a little
they're a
bit.
little smaller.
A little bit. No, he's there's smaller ones. There's it depends on the dog.
Oh, okay.
But he needs maybe to lose a few pounds. But he's in good shape. Sometimes he goes and he eats the other dog's food, so I have to separate the dog food. I have to put his on the chair, and my other dog's name is Bambino. I have to put his down on the floor and make sure he doesn't eat his food.
But how can you do that? You know,
I do it. I watched him because he knows he has to stay on the chair now.
Really?
I have to separate the food.
Okay. But
Because if I put them
you walk out
together-
of the room, and he can just.
No, I make sure they eat. They eat. You know, he eats his on the chair, and the other one eats, or else I'll take it away from them because he'll definitely go and eat the other bowl.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So did you ever think about putting him in the movies since you do?
I wanted to put him in commercials when I first got him,
Really?
and I did get a phone call for a TV show, and I thought about it, but I didn't know if I wanted to put him through that because it's a lot of hours.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't know if I wanted to put him through it. But as far as a commercial, I would love to have him in a commercial.
Really?
But you never know.
Hey.
Maybe he'll get on a commercial now. Right now he's on TV.
Yeah. First day.
This is his first TV.
Well, you have taken so many pictures
Pictures
of
of
him.
him.
Yeah.
And people love him. That's how I got involved with my business. When I first got him, people, and I took him around, people wanted a picture of him. And I was giving hundreds of pictures out of him.
Really?
And I said, you know what? Let me do something with it. And I started making greeting cards, and they're called Bella Marco Polo, and then they're in the stores.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I have them in the
I know
stores.
you
That's
had
my
your business
logo.
card with-
I made business card, but
Uh-huh.
I have pictures of him with different outfits on, and that's the name of the card. My business is called Bella Marco Polo,
Okay.
and I do sell the cards in stores, and you could
Really?
order and make gift baskets with them. And then I had other people asking me, would you photograph my dog? And that's how I started my business of Bella Marco Polo.
So
and I-
when you have their greeting cards,
I take the picture,
uh-huh.
and then I make them small sizes,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have the cards with the logo on them, and then I put the picture on the card. They're all the real picture. I don't have them printed, and I package them, and they're going.
Wow.
They're amazing cards. You have to go on the website www.bellamarcopolo, and you'll see some of the pictures. He has different outfits on for different holidays.
So then these are like note cards?
Cards, there's nothing.
Just
Well,
nothing in it.
sometimes on the front I'll write happy birthday, happy anniversary. You know, we'll make them fun.
Oh, okay.
But people love them, and they want their dogs. And when I photograph a dog, I usually put their dog on a card, and now their dog is out in the stores.
Wow.
And then I did horses. I did a whole series of horses last week,
Oh, really?
and I enjoy the horses too. All the animals.
Do you ride?
I don't ride. I always wanted to ride.
Yeah.
But being around the horses, it was a beautiful day. Like 2 weeks ago, and I said, I'm going to take a ride to the barn, and I just get lost behind the lens.
Yeah.
And with the animals, it just, like I say, it's calming.
Yeah.
I came home and I just felt so stress-free.
Yeah.
And that's, my love.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me stress-free in my life. We all have something that we have to have a release on. I love going down to the beach too, but really the animals and taking my photography is what helps me.
Yeah.
You have to find your passion.
Yeah. Well, that's important.
Right.
Yeah. And you have found your passion.
I have many passions. Yeah.
And I know you were
Yeah.
trying to get him in his little bomber jacket, but
I was trying to
you
give him
could-
his
you
little
could-
motorcycle jacket, but today was all about Animal Aid USA.
Yeah,
And look
Wow.
how good he is. He's a
Yeah.
sweetheart.
he's just kind of cool, chill.
Right, Marco? Are you
He's like,
riding?
I don't really want to talk
No,
anymore.
he's happy.
He's done.
He's just so good. He'll go home. This is his little baby Bobo that he had.
I'm like, what is
No,
that?
this is his first toy when he came to the house.
Okay.
And-
he looks like he's been through it. But you
Right?
know
That
what?
baby-
Let Marco handle it, and we're going to go take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Hi, I'm going to do a live commercial. Hi, I'm Renee Marie, the president and founder of Renee Marie's Language of Love Foundation. I would like to personally invite you to our second annual telethon held right here on Madhouse TV. Did you know that nearly 80% of strokes could be prevented? By knowing the signs and getting to the hospital within a 4.5-hour window, you could save your life or someone's you love life or anyone's life. Strokes do not discriminate who it affects and at what time. A stroke can happen at any time and play a huge impact in your life. Do you know what aphasia is? It is a result of a stroke or brain injury, which affects the ability to speak and communicate. Think about how you would feel if you cannot express yourself, even in the simplest forms. I am blessed to say that I am a stroke survivor and can humbly speak of the experience of how it feels to express myself, to not be able to express myself, and not to understand. It is devastating. Please join us on March 20th, 2016 on Madhouse TV for a Language of Love telethon, which supports strokes and aphasia. You can visit our website at www.languageoflovetelethon.org. Together, we are lifting our voices and changing the face of strokes and aphasia around locally and around the globe. God bless you, and I'll see you on Madhouse TV on March 20th, 2016. God bless everybody. Ciao.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends. And again, we got our girl. Is Marco Polo a boy or a girl?
Oh, he's a boy.
Oh, okay.
Marco
I was like,
Polo.
Marco Polo, yeah. Oh, okay.
But my business is called Bella Marco Polo. That's why I always say Bella
So I'm
Marco
like,
Polo.
Bella. Is it Bella?
Bello. Bello for a boy.
Bello. Okay.
Bello.
Are you Italian?
Yes.
Okay. What?
Are
Why
you
didn't I
Italian,
know
Marco?
that? You like operas and all that?
I
kind
love
of
the
stuff?
opera.
Does he like the operas?
Yeah. Well, that's why I said I put on Bocelli, singing Goodnight to
Yeah,
Elmo.
yeah.
And I listen to opera, so he listened to opera growing up.
Wow.
Yes, I love the opera.
And how old is he?
He's 8.
8 years old.
His birthday is in June.
Oh, okay. So he'll be 8.
He'll be 8.
Okay.
I want to clone him.
Huh?
I want to clone him.
Well, he's a sweetie, and he's hung in there, and he's not doing nothing bad, and that's a good thing. And oh my God, he's up there. He's having his moment. You know, he's saying, "Okay, Ma, what are you doing?" You know, but you had said you wanted me to ask you something, but I forgot now. So what did you want me to ask you?
No, we're going to sum it up on how to get in contact with, the charity.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to help, please contact me on Facebook, Diane Hanna on Facebook, and let's save a lot of lives.
Well, yeah. Well, with the awareness, and that's my passion, you know, making people aware, because awareness is so important, you know, because people don't know. Right now, people are dying because they're eating not nutritiously. Everything we're planting is so not good. And we basically are having such issues right now because we need to know about why we're not living a good life, because right now people don't have that education, and we need the education of awareness of life and health, and with what's going on in the world with our animals and
Right.
and you know, just we need to live so much better and treat each other
With kindness.
Yes, happy, and be happy. People are not happy.
No, they're not
They're
happy.
miserable. You know, I want to be happy. That's why I like going out dancing, and I think I'm going for my second childhood. You know, even though I don't look like. I didn't tell you about my experience on the. I might have mentioned it on the plane. So I got hit on my nose,
yes,
right?
yes, you did tell me.
And the flight attendant thought I was, oh, that lady down there, she's about in her late 30s. I was like, really? Wow, no, not quite. You know, add 20 years to it. But because I'm living younger and I feel better because I have people like you and Marco Polo and, you know, coming and embracing me and making me feel younger. And, you know, you have to feel and put the best things in life. So the best things in life is animals and good foods and good people
And being
good
around positive,
relationships.
around
Yes,
positive people
positive,
and
yeah.
a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of good people that are coming on in the
Yeah,
future on
yeah.
a lot of energy and people that we've been both meeting along the way and
right.
connecting with.
Wow. I know that the young lady that was on last week, she was amazing.
Yes.
She was amazing, and her energy.
Melinda, yes.
Yes, Melinda. Oh my gosh, Melinda. She was so sweet, you
Right.
know. So we definitely have to get her back on
Yes.
too, you know, because I had shown my mom and my stepfather the show, and he's a veterinarian, so he got out of his bed and he sat on the edge and he looked, and he got very much into it. He was engaged, and
Right.
he really enjoyed
Did it.
the whole energy. And he actually was saying how the dogs and what have you do feel that energy.
Right.
You know, so when you are positive,
Mm-hmm.
they'll embrace you, and
Right.
they'll.
Now is he a veterinarian now? Is he
No,
he's practice?
retired.
So he's an
retired.
animal lover.
Yeah.
So he's going to love this show tonight
oh,
too.
Yeah, definitely. Because he loved his animals. Because I remember my mom can be a little mean sometimes. So there was a dog, and she didn't want him anymore. So she was like, put him outside. I was like, Ma, you can't put the dog outside like that, you know? So he took the dog, and she was like, well, put him to sleep. I'm like, so I said, you can't do that. And so I called her husband, and he said, I said, what did you do to the dog? He said, I found a home for her. I said, okay, good, because, you know, I was heartbroken, you know. I was like, how can you do that? You can't
Right.
do
You
that.
can't do that.
You know, I was like, that's mean. So I just sat, I remember I sat in my car and I just watched the dog, because you couldn't let the dog just go out there, you know, because get hit.
Right.
You know, so, but he took the dog and gave him a home. So I was like, because my mom, she tolerated cats, but the dog, although I remember one time we had a cat, and apparently the cat went from one side of the room all the way up the curtains, and that was the end of that cat too. My mom was like, she didn't tolerate.
No, you have to be ready for an animal.
She was not ready.
An animal is this. These are my children.
I know.
They're my children.
Yeah, and they're beautiful, and you are beautiful, and
Thank you.
I thank you for
You're so-
making this show.
Thank you, Dee.
And being my actually, you are my guest host at this point, you know, and or actually co-host, and you're going to be helping me bring people on, and we're going to have really.
We have a great show coming. Some great things coming.
And of course, Cherie and Kim got to
Yes.
come back, and then we're going to have, you know, repeats.
More fun, more passion.
Yes, and more relationships, and keep it going. And Marco we're going to have him come back again.
Okay. Look at
and-
him.
And he's saying hi to everybody in here, and it's just fun. Yeah, it's fun, and we just want to make everybody aware. Don't make that door go. Yeah, Marco, Polo.
Marco, Bob.
We're gonna have some pictures on Facebook later with him and
Yes.
me and you, and what have you. But thank you, Marco. I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Diane. And thank you for being part of this animal aid.
USA.
And everybody needs to help these animals, you know, because these animals don't need to be euthanized like that. And they need help. And you all are doing wonderful work.
Thank you.
And help them do this work. So
it's the volunteers that go out there every month and do this, you know, every day.
Right.
It's their life every day. Karen gives up this, her and her husband, just this is their world, this is their life.
If you have room for a dog in your house and you want to adopt, go to these people and adopt a pet. You know, adopt. They need your help. So next week, I am not going to be here, but somebody will be here, probably Diane or somebody. So they're going to take over my passion and share with you. But I'll be back the next week. Yeah, I'm going out of town. I'm traveling. So hopefully I won't have any more little boo-boos on my nose. That would hurt. A shoe flew on my nose. You know, can you imagine? So come back next week and enjoy this week and have a great life. I mean, oh wait, what am I talking about? Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Passion for Life with Dee and Friends. Okay, bye.
Hey.